Karen Bohl. Waiting. Top chat. Live chat. Hi! Can you see us, Miss Anna Marie? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Are you going to be able to get to your screen with that over there?
I don't think everybody knows how to do that, right? I usually use that one, the one that
Okay, got it. Okay, so I'll have Patrick get that one.
This one's
We'll
working.
bring it in.
This one's working. No, we're doing this one. Yeah, this one.
Okay, I'm going to get out of your way because it's tight quarters. So let me get this over here for you.
Okay.
And we'll plug it in. It's 100% right now.
Okay,
so,
I can move it back further. Yeah.
You can still, that way you have more chair room.
Okay. So just kind of setting up here.
You can move it wherever. We're going to get out of here and then go ahead and do your thing. And then we'll get the other one in here too.
Okay.
Okay, let me know if you need anything.
Okay, thanks.
I'll come back and check on you if you need.
Good morning. Thank you. Yeah. Good morning. Let me know if you can see me here okay. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Willa. There we go. Is that my technology? How to... Oh. Over here. I don't know. We're still figuring things out here. Let's see. Oh. Try it. Try. Oh, they can hear me, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I need that speaker.
Okay.
Over here. There. They hear me on the iPad over there.
Okay. I can see and hear you. Your voice is jumbled a bit. The sound is garbled.
Yeah, it will be now. I think we have two speakers going. So is it getting better? Let me know.
Sound is not good. No, it's not getting better. There's more complaints. So I thought you had to have the sound on the computer.
No, I've never heard myself here.
Okay. Sound is not good.
Yeah, is it getting better? I think we changed something.
I had with being garbled the other day when I did the. Oh. So it's saying, so do we bring in the microphone? I mean, I haven't had to do that before.
Let me know if it's any better or if it's the same. Because we did change something, so.
Video source. Let's see. Ultra low. Let's go high. Let's see. They're going to reconnect, but we need to change it.
Well, yeah.
Standard. And
is it any better right now?
let's see what. Second. We're just reconnecting. How does that sound? Any better? And it could be like those, because the mics are on there, maybe if it was like closer.
It says we're in the red. Right?
What does the red mean?
This, like it's loud.
Yeah, that's loud.
Oh, they're all the way up on the camera.
Okay, I just changed the latency, so maybe that, because we were on the lowest, so we just set it back to the highest, and or I did standard. So,
And this could be moved up, maybe.
so if you guys can just let us know if this sounds any better.
I don't know if we're getting any chat anymore, because that was a
I
long
think we
time
had to
ago.
reconnect, and so, and then there's latency, it takes probably like 30 seconds. There.
you go. What is latency?
Like,
The way they talk,
we
the
film
server to
to
the,
when they see it.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So somehow the audio was turned to the lowest.
See, I don't think, if you guys are chatting, I don't think we can see it.
So let's give them a second to just catch up. If anyone's in the, oh, let me go, I'm gonna go listen in on the computer. Let's see what we get.
I'm not sure I'm getting your responses. We're trying to sort things out. Hold on.
Oh, so sound is still garbled.
Really?
How's that? Any better? We did say something.
Yes, garbled. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're working
So
on
it
it.
did that to me the other day when I was filming the Kimberbell one, yeah.
Aw.
It's totally good. It's totally good.
Oh, you can hear fine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, she's saying it's still garbled. No? Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be on their end because it's not on this end. It's totally good.
Yes, that is better.
Yeah.
Mary
Okay.
says yes, that's,
right,
cool.
perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yay, okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Mary. Yeah, I think I'm trailing like, it seems like 30 seconds. So yeah. Morning, Shara. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Marsha, Rolo, Anna Marie. Good morning. Chat is almost like the microphone is right at your mouth, if that makes sense. Okay. Maybe I can move this a little farther away. I'm not sure which picks it up. It's a camera. The cameras I've got 3 cameras around me, and they pick up my voice, I think. Oh, I was going to have them put it back where I can see all the different cameras. Come on, we're getting it together. Hold on just a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think I'm good now. It's pretty clear now. Oh, good. Good morning. Good morning, Markel Quilter. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad everyone's here. Perfect. Pretty clear now from Mary. Thank you. Okay, so today's kind of exciting. I know we're doing the cherry house. I'm going to move the camera over. But we're going to do some background quilting on our block. I think I've worked out a method. Let me change my view here. I've worked out a method where we can background quilt on our bigger blocks. It's easy to do it on the smaller size if you're doing the 6x10. It's easy to do the background quilting because you have a hoop that will accommodate the whole. But this is a 12 and a half by 11 and a half. And so we could never quilt all the way to the end. And this is how it came out. This is the one I did. I just did it in white. I didn't do any real dark colors, but they're little houses. I found this, it's called Home, and it's clear blue tiles at Kimberbell. And that's what let's see if I can't zoom in a little bit. If I remember how to do that, which I don't. feel like it's been a long time since I've done a live. Let's see if I can't get it up there, and if you guys could actually see it. You can kind of see it in the grass. They're little houses with little clouds. They're so cute. But yeah, I was able to do that. And on the back is my stabilizer and then some batting. So I think it turned out really good. I don't, it's not overly chunky or stiff or anything. I mean, other than the embroidery, which is, going to be heavy regardless. But I think that's going to come together really nicely. What do you guys think? Won't that be fun? Won't that be interesting? Okay, so, and then I did the sashing. I did the same way. This has batting because I'm like, well, when I put it all together, I kind of wanted to have this. I just want to be able to put a backing on it and maybe stitch in the ditch to attach the backing in the end and have it all, kind of the same thickness, whatever you want to call that. The same, but this has a batting and it has stabilizer, which I used a no-show mesh, which is kind of the lightest stabilizer out there. It doesn't need to be, but I think it turned out fine. I think this is really going to work. So the first thing we have to do is we get our two pieces together. These are the two pieces that form the background and the grass. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. Here we go. So we're just going to sew that together on the machine as normal. I should have asked for a regular foot, feet, and spool caps. Let's see if I have a regular foot in here. No. I wonder where that would be. It was kind of a hectic beginning, so I'm a little, let's see, I saw a, let's see if the ankle is in here. I don't see the ankle. I could probably use the one that's on the Avenir right here, right? It's the same thing. Gosh darn it, where's my, here we go. Okay. So let me take this off. Oh, Lord. Go, this should work. Just grab one off another machine. So we're going to set this up for sewing. We're going to set our machine up for sewing. And we're just going to do a 1/4 inch stitch on that background and grass. How's everybody been? How's everybody surviving the summer? It's been really hot here. I feel like it's been forever since I've been here. And it has been very, very hot. Let's see, we're going to do sewing. Move that carriage out of my way so I can do something here. Okay. So I'm just gonna use a regular pre-wound bobbin, just as if I was embroidering, because I mean, you would normally do this on the embroidery side of things, so let's be okay. So let me throw that in here. It is hot here also. Oh, yeah. Guess our summer's here. It is. It is. You know, in January we were complaining about the cold, and now We're just never really happy. We all need to live where it's 70 degrees year round. Is there a place like that? Okay. So let me think. Okay, so I have my C fabric and my V fabric, which is my grass. I'll move you over to the machine. This is kind of set up for embroidery, but I mean, you just need to do a quarter inch seam. That's all we're gonna do. Oh, it's so funny. They never have the foot connected. Okay, let's see. Here we go. I think will this one work? I don't know. This isn't. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, looks like it'll work. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to put this together. Just sew them together. Nothing difficult so far. Quarter inch. My foot. I don't want to go crazy fast. Just going to sew a quarter of an inch. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cut this squared up in the end, you know. Heat up our iron, get that going. Okay, there we go. So now this is together. Okay. And I'm going to iron this. What happened here? Nothing. Okay. I'm going to go, I don't have a camera for the ironing station, but I'm just going to iron this down. So let's get our hoop ready while we're waiting for the iron. So I am using a magnetic hoop. I think this is the 9.5 by 14, I think. I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that yet. All I'm going to hoop in here is some batting. So if you don't want to have one of these hoops, you can just hoop this like normal. It's not that hard when it's just one piece of batting. So I'm going to set this down real quick. Okay, I'm going to leave this half on like that. And I'm going to cover up the frame. And put this up against the little part that goes in the machine. And I'm going to line this up as well as I can. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I'm going to slide this out. Okay, and just like that, we're hooped. I kind of straightened it out if there were any wrinkles. Okay, so I just hooped some stabilizer, or not stabilizer, I hooped some batting. That's all I did. Let me get this ironed real quick. Okay. Now we need to mark this, don't we? We need to mark this with our clear blue tiles. And I'm using the 6 by 12. stuff here. Oh, thanks, Pamela. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Wanda. Okay. So I bought this case here, which is gorgeous. But all of my hoops fit in there. Even this 9.5 by 14 fits in here. Which I was like, bonus, right? So we want the 6 by 12. Let me grab that. The 6 by 12. So that's nice to be able to accommodate. I had all my hoops in. I had the magnetic 9.5 by 14. I had my 6 by 10 and my 8 by 12 all in here with my clear blue tiles, which, you know, and it fit just fine. Everything zipped up nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to get the 6 by 12 out here. This one. 8 by 12. 6 by 14. Okay, so let's just take them out and find it, right? 6 by 12. That's what we need. Okay, so how I did this part to make sure that I had the quilting within the green part after I trimmed it all. When we trim this, we set our line on our ruler at the 2 3/4 mark on our ruler. So there are little lines on our clear blue tiles. There's a grid on there. It's hard to see, but it's there. And I'm going to put it 3 inch. I'm going to put the 3 inch mark on my on this sew line here. And that's how I'm going to get it, you know, pretty even. And I'm just going to, you know, I'm just eyeballing about a 1/2 inch away because we're going to cut this down to 11 by 11. Right now it's like 14 by 12 or something. So we're going to cut it. We're going to cut it pretty small. So the sides and the top we don't need to worry about. But I'm going to put that 3 inch. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put 3 inches there. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, so that's how I just made sure that when I trimmed this, I was going to get the embroidery all the way to the edge. Okay, and it makes my my tile straight. So I'm just going to make a little mark in the center where to put my needle. And we're going to mark these sides. I don't do a whole lot of marking, but I got to know where to put it on this side. I don't need to worry about the top and the bottom. Okay? But this is going to help me line up my needle. And this is water soluble. So now I'm going to line up this line here and this line here. And then I know I made one down here, right? Where'd it go? Well, let's line up the 3. Oh, I see it now. It's the same color as the flowers. But I see it. It's there. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm going to have to put some tape on the side because it might go over. Okay. Okay. So now we know where to put our needle. That's all we need this for. Okay, so now let's switch it back to embroidery on our machine. We're all done sewing that one little line. If you have 2 machines in your house, that would be useful, right? It's one little quick line and you're done. Okay, let's put our embroidery foot back on. Okay. I'm still just using white embroidery thread and the same. Let's go back to the machine. The same round bobbin. And I'm gonna put my frame on. Well, let's go embroidery. Move my carriage here. Okay. Again, we just have batting here. Nothing fancy. And you can use, this is kind of thick batting. This isn't like the Kimberbell batting. I feel like my frame is way off here. It seems okay. Yeah. I don't know why it feels that way. Okay. Go to the pocket, and I'm just my USBs in here, and I'm going to load my 6x12 clear blue tile in background. But we got to line up our needle, right? So let's put our down here, and I'm going to push that W button up here, and it's going to give me a little beam. And I'm just going to line that up. I'm just going to line my little beam up with what I drew. Okay. Are we all good on that? I can't move this camera any closer. Be able to get, no.
You want to, we can move it.
No, I just wanted to show them that, but, that's okay.
Can you move
I
it?
thought we had this camera working, but we don't?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to put it on that? Or just twist it on?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
let's
let's
do
do
that.
that. Okay, I'm going to move the camera
Let's
so
get
we
this
don't
out
get
of the
sick.
way. Yeah, have them.
Hold on.
Merry-go-round. Let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
And then you can have this and you can move it wherever you want.
Okay. Hold, please.
Well, we've got a dead camera apparently.
Oh, no.
I forget which one there. So you can go ahead and just set this up however you want it.
Okay.
I'm going to move this out of
Okay.
here.
Perfect.
This out.
Okay, thank you. I got it. There we go.
My hips.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? Easier?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's
Okay.
better. I can get you in a little closer here. I don't want to get you sick though, but I want you to see my little mark here. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see that. But I have to hold this camera, so I'm a little shaky. Little shaky hands. But I want you to see that. See, I have that lined up with my marks that I made, and that should be perfect for clear blue tiles. Okay? All right, so let me move you back over here while I set up this view. I don't want to get you guys sick. Let's see here. We switched the camera stand. So let me get you to where you can see what I'm doing. All right. That's good. Okay. So that's what I did. I lined up my little beam. You could tape. You probably should. I will find some. But I think I'm okay on this side once it gets started. So I've got my design up. It's little houses with clouds. Let me show you. Let me just show you really quick. I just think it's so cute, and I don't want to make you sick, but I want you guys to see it. There we go. Can you kind of see that? Isn't that cute? It's houses and clouds. Houses and clouds. It's so cute. Let me put it back. Okay. All right. enough moving the camera around. Okay, I'm just gonna push go, and it's gonna start quilting. This does require 2 hoopings. You're going to have to rehoop to do the other side. So you need another piece of batting about the same size. Find some tape. So I know I'm going to need it for the other side. Oh, my mic is amplified on the machine side. Okay. Move it back. And, yeah, it's awfully close, isn't it? So let me make sure you can still kind of see. How's that, a little better? Cool. So yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to, quilt this, because I just think it'll look so much cuter. Of course, now I'm going to have to redo the last however many blocks, 5. But that's okay. With the other blocks, maybe I'll make pillows or something like that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I went with like a real summery color. Thank you. So yeah, I have the other 5 blocks, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make maybe a pillow, because I have 5 blocks with like 10 things of sashing. I think I can figure out something to do with those. They're super cute. Yeah, it's like a corally pink. Kind of goes with everything. It's kind of lifting up here. Just kind of keep an eye on it. Like I said, you probably should tape, and I will tape the other side. see, I could probably move this up. Well, let's see. There we go. I don't know why it's so washed out. I mean, not that you can see much, but I'm wondering, turn the microphone down a little bit on this one. Can you still hear me? And is it louder on the machine? I think I might be able to just turn the microphone down on that camera. How's that? Any of them would be that loud, I don't think. How's that? How's that sound? No. The reason I had to do some other blocks was because I cut it wrong. In the end, cutting is I just couldn't wrap my head around it for a while. And I cut them wrong until I finally put some washi tape on my ruler so that I could line it up here correctly. And then because before I was cutting this too short and then they weren't going to line up and I had to redo them. It was just me and my mind and not being able to work it out. It takes me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times sometimes. But I eventually get it. Better. Oh, good. Perfect. Okay. So that's finished embroidering, but we're going to do it again. So let's go over to this camera. Yeah. And we're going to rehoop. We're going to rehoop some more batting. We're going to take this one off. And we're going to cut most of this batting off here. Let's do that. Scissors. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I think you can, yeah. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut as close to the embroidery as I can without cutting my fabric. Doesn't have to be perfect whatsoever. But I find that these pieces are wide enough to put with the sashing. So of course I hang on to these. These are big chunks, so I save as much as I can. So just cut it out just like that. Doesn't need to be a whole, doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be, I mean, you could sit here all day and nitpick about how much you want to cut off, and sometimes I do that, and there's really no reason. So we got one side done. We got it cut up. Let's rehoop. Set this aside. Get our piece of batting. This is just, you know, plain old quilty batting. I guess, I don't know, is there a right side? I think there is. Yeah, that's a bumpy side. This is smoother. I'm not sure it really matters. So I'm going to put this halfway like we did before. Okay. Get my frame. You guys see what I'm doing? Kind of. I wish I could see that bigger. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to line this up with the little, move this up here so it's kind of close to the bottom, and we're going to let that go, and I'm going to pull this out. That's going to pull my batting pretty straight. I'm going to make sure that I'm not too far out of whack here, and then we're good. I think we're good. If the frame was off a little bit, I could just move it around, be fine. Okay, we're going to go back to the machine. How easy is that? Go back here. My chair is creaking. bothering you. I'm sorry. Okay. Grab our, now like I said, I'm going to tape this on one side. Oops. Got caught in the needle. Oh, wow. There we go. Wow. Okay. All right. So first I'm going to get it all lined up, and then I'm going to give it some tape. So I'm going to push that W up on the corner there. It's going to bring up my little beam. Just like that. And I got some tape out here. Tape and batting do not get along, but it's a necessary evil because I'm very close to the edge here and I just don't want to. I'm gonna, like I said, we're gonna end up cutting all this off in the end. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And I couldn't do this beforehand. It'd be a lot easier to do it beforehand, but I couldn't do it beforehand because I needed to line it up. It's not going to go down here, but you know, this part likes to, you know, pop up a little bit. So I'm just gonna do this just to hold it. Okay, I think we're good. Our little beam is still perfect. And I would just press go, right? Here we go. Don't touch the camera. It wants to lift up my tape. Got to keep an eye on it on this side. It's going to go off just a little bit. Okay. What are we doing? Am I too low? Did I turn it down too much? I'm experimenting. I'm trying to keep...
I know you're so quiet.
I know.
Nobody ever tells me to speak up. In my life.
Well, you know, I used to kind of yell for a living. And, yeah, I guess I just don't do that anymore. So let me know if that's better. I think I'm going off this camera here, so... I'm not even sure. I have one that's not even hooked up that's registering for some reason. Am I better? Let me know. Let me know if the machine is too loud. And I will try to speak up. So this is an extra step, but you see how quickly it goes. I mean, less than a half an hour and you've got your block quilted. Just hold on. There we go. Wants to pick up right there. Okay. Keep an eye on it, right? Oh, it still wants to do it. Maybe it's down there. Well, let's see. almost done over there finally. You could use some spray to hold that down. Raise your foot just a little bit maybe, and then that way it wouldn't catch. Some batting there, and it brings the foot a little closer to the material. Just gotta keep an eye on it. Can you hear me? Trying to speak up. Sometimes I mumble. My husband says that too. I'd like to think he's just going deaf, but you know, probably not. But for little projects like this, I think that clear blue tiles are just a godsend. I mean, I use it like if I'm doing anything, I'll even use it on baby blankets. So baby blankets and smaller, I have no problems. I don't think I'd go any bigger than a baby blanket, but you know, table runners, table toppers, placemats, anything like that. You want to put a cute little design on a pot holder, trivets, things like that. Clear blue tiles is so easy. Next thing we're going to do is hoop our 8x12. With just some no-show mesh. Give that a minute, we're almost done. Okay. There. It was just almost done, so I let it go. Okay. We are ready. That's it. We're quilted. Wasn't that easy? Go back over here. We have a few stitches in our tape, but you know, that's all going to be cut off. Go. Whoa. Almost knocked the computer over. All right, so we're going to cut this off.
You definitely want a second.
And you have a little gap between the two, but that's not going to matter because you're going to have some pretty heavy embroidery on top of that. So it's not gonna show like a seam or anything. I can show you on this one. You can't, and you have, so I have a little seam there. You can see it on the back, but there's nothing on the front that would indicate a seam on it. So that worked out really well.
If there's a third set of hands needed to get it up and into the truck, I'll help you guys.
Still cut your material. That might be easy to do. Just be careful. And then this is what it looks like back here. You can cut some of this off if you want. Okay. There we go. That's what the back looks like. And this is I'm not going to worry about this water soluble because some of it's going to be covered up from the embroidery and there's no need to get it wet right now. Whatever's showing after I'm all done, then I just spit some water on there and it goes away. It goes away. And what I like is it doesn't come back. Like the heat, I had some here. I got a little piece there, but if I use the heat and the one that goes away with the iron, if it gets really cold, it comes back. So I'm kind of sold on the water soluble one. Okay, so now we're going to hoop our 8x10, 8x12. And we're just going to start making our house like we normally do. I'm going to grab just some no-show mesh, some nice light stabilizer, nothing, the lightest you can get. I would use, because you have batting, you don't need heavy stabilizer. It'll support the stitches just fine. And make it smooth. Tighten her up. Okay, let's go over to the machine, start our house. Go back here. No, we're going to go here. Okay. So I'm going to get out of this embroidery design and I'm going to go back into the pocket, USB, and our house. I'm leaving the white in for now. And embroidery. First thing it's going to do is it's going to do our line where we're going to lay down our material. So this is where it would stitch the seam that we did on the regular sewing machine. So that's what I'm going to use to line up our little background. Okay, so I see my line. You probably can't because it's in white if you want to do it in a darker color, but I'm just going to line up. I'm just going to line up and kind of center my seam. And that way my house will be, kind of in the middle, and doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So I'm lined up here pretty well. And let's just check this one again. Go down a little bit, there we go. And then what it's going to do is I'm going to skip the actual sewing of the seam. That was the placement line for the material. So I'm going to skip the next step. I'm skipping step number 2, and we're going to go to step number 3. And that's just going to put the basting box around where the house is going to be. Okay? So you can tape if you want, but I don't think it's necessary. And, nothing has to be perfectly lined up because, like I keep saying, we're going to cut it later. You just don't want it like too crazy all cockeyed in there, because we want our grass to be nice and level. And that worked out great. Okay. Now we're going to start building our house on our quilted background. Isn't that awesome? All right, so I'm going to get my little spreadsheet out that tells me what colors I used on what step and what material I need. And that's available on the website. It's this one here. Every month, it's the same one. Yeah, I have all of my colors in here that I'm going to use for each step. I don't need a color until step 9. I'm on step 4. Okay. So I'm going to keep white in, and it's going to give me the outline to lay my housing material, my house, my actual house. And for that, I need fabric Z. Let me show you what fabric Z is. This is fabric Z. I made these, I'll show you, but I made, these are from Embroidery Garden, and they're called fabric markers. And you make them with felt in your machine. They're kind of big. I think there's a smaller file, but those are kind of big, but I don't mind. They work just fine. I'm going to make the smaller ones and see what the difference is. So again, I'm using white. It's kind of hard to see. But I can see it. And I'm just going to cover this. Make sure I'm covering all the lines, and I am. Still leaving white in. It's just a tack down for the house, and we're going to have to cut around this. Get my scissors. I like to use these little pinch scissors. I really like those. Oops, bumped the camera. I'm making that. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut close to the stitch line. How's everybody doing? So what do you think? Is anybody going to try the background quilting this way? Do you have a different way of doing it? I may have to take this off just to get a better, get closer here. Okay. What's next? The placement line for the side of the house. There's a little, let's make sure, let's see what page we're on. We're not even in the book yet. Doing the cherry house. So we are on step 6, which is a placement stitch, and we need fabric O. And here's Fabric O. And if I haven't mentioned, I do have SF101 on all of my applique pieces. You don't need it for, this is a placement line. You don't need it for all of the fabrics, but I just do it just because I'm doing it, and I might as well do it to them all and just make the fabric a little more stable. Okay, so we're going to place this down, right side down, not covering right up to that line, and it's going to stitch our seam. Now we can get our You can iron this if you like. Or you can finger press. If you finger press, you might want to hold it a little taut here, which is dangerous. Normally I would just press. Get my hand out of the way. And then we're going to cut off all that excess. It's really hard to get the bottom there. Got to get a different angle. This chair is driving me crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's like very creaky. Apparently I move around a lot in the chair. Let's see. What's next? Okay, so now we're at step 9. That's our first color, because we're going to do a satin stitch on the side of the house. And the color I have is the ES763, which is like a goldy, it's like a gold color. 763. So, my scissors here. That one is at the end of July. Let me look on my phone real quick. I know I have it in my calendar. What's that? Oh, no, I guess it's in August. It's August 15th. We're going to be doing the Live, Love, Laugh. August 15th. At the end of July, we're doing another house on the 31st. We'll be doing the next house, which I think is a fireworks house. I still have a white bobbin in. Not going to change that, I don't think. Yeah, you're welcome, Julia Jocelyn. That's a fun name. Yeah, you know, it's going to look so much cuter in the end, I think. And like I said, when it's all done and you stitch it all together, I mean, all you got to do is throw on a piece of backing. You don't have to make the sandwich, and I'm not going to anyway. And then I'm just going to stitch in the ditch, just to just around the squares, just to hold the backing to the top. That's it. I think it's going to make it easier in the long run. I think it's going to be really cute. I think it's just going to be cute. Like I said, I think this is called Home. It's clear blue tiles, background quilting, and I think it's just called Home at Kimberbell. It has little houses and little clouds and some swirls. It's really cute. All right, what's next? Looks like we're doing the tree. So we could leave the yellow in, but I think I'm going to switch it to what I'm going to need. And for the tree, I'm using an isocord. I think it's this color here. Yeah, it's isocord 5912. It's kind of a light green. I have a bright light green. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, because I've got to do all the other blocks over again, is I'm just going to put all of these together. There's 12 houses, so I'm going to put them all together with the sewing machine, the grass in the background. And then I'm going to do all 12 background quilting all at once, just spend a day doing that. And then I'll be able to, just do the houses and have all that done. I think that would be the easiest way. Just kind of do it in blocks. So this is the outline for the tree, and for the tree they want fabric Q, which is this fabric here. And all the cutting instructions, of course, are on the worksheet for each piece. And we're going to lay that down, and we're going to do the tack down. You can use spray. Oh, what's going on here? Hold on. You can use spray to hold it down. You could use your scan and cut and have them all pre-cut. To the perfect size. The houses would go really fast then. We wouldn't have all this tedious cutting to do. I'm going to take this out and get a better angle on it here because there's some ins and outs here. You don't have to get really close on these cuts. The cover stitches are pretty generous on these houses. But yeah, the scan and cut would make this go a lot faster. I wouldn't have to do all of this. But I don't have one yet. Okay. But I see other people use it, and I'm like, wow, why am I not doing that? And those of you that have them are probably watching me going, wow, why doesn't she have one? All that cutting. It's not so bad. What's after our tree? Let's see. We're going to do our satin stitch. We're using that same green. Next, we're going to do like the tree trunk. And for that, we're using Exquisite number 950. This color. No, that's the wrong color. Where's 950? Well, that's gotta be right. Put the wrong number in there. Why did that? Oh, that. Looking at the wrong step. So it's Exquisite 628. That's what this is. 628. And it's just a beige. A lighter brown. That will be next. Norcal, have you made yours? Have you started yours yet? Are you even making it? Still on the fence? This is the first time I've done an embroidery quilt. A whole quilt with embroidery. I want to do that Autumn Love. Is it called Autumn Love? The one with the little scarecrow and the house in the middle. That one looks really, really cute too. The camera not look so washed out. Light on the machine, I think. Making it bright. for this design, the hometown quilt, the cuts in fabric go into the double letters, so I had to make these myself. So what I did is I just made a little square in the design space, or yeah, on the machine, right on the machine. I just made a square. I made a couple of placement lines, and then I just put some letters in there and made sure that they fit. And I think they turned out okay. They're all pretty much the same size. I think they turned out okay. Then I just did the whole alphabet. Then the numbers show. And do the numbers. I just need some white felt and thread. And I've got a ton of white felt. So I'm going to do the numbers. And, but yeah, I just did these right on the machine. I just was playing around, and it's not, is it Design Space? Is that what it's called? You know, on the machine. So yeah, that's how I did that. Okay, what is next? Let's see. Next, what color was I using for step number 13? I was using the 628. So let's find 628 in my bag. That'll be a yellow, right? 628. Oh no, 628 is the brown. So confused on my machine here. So we're doing the brown. We're doing the tree trunk. Yeah, I just got tired of writing down the letters. If you saw my past videos, you saw that I would just tear up some paper and put whatever letter the material was, and had to write them all out. So I thought, well, I'm going to make some markers. Okay. And for the tree trunk. I touched something on the screen. There we go. Okay. I don't to touch anything. That's a pretty satin stitch. I'll show you. You can see it here, I think. Let's see. Isn't that pretty? Is that too close? There we go. Let it focus. Isn't that pretty? That's what it's doing right now. Pretty decorative stitch. We got really creative with those stitches. I feel like this Luminaire is doing a little better job than my machine. Round 13, and then step 14. In the book, we are on page 40. If you're following along. Step 14. I use Glide corn flour. It's a little bit lighter yellow. Oh yeah. We're going to do the roof. This is our next color, Glide cornflower. Okay. And that's going to go around the house. And it's a little lighter yellow than what we have out here. But that's what they wanted. And I think it looks cute. Let's see. You can see on this one, it's a little lighter than this one. A little lighter. Yeah. Well, I think it's cute. My house is yellow. My real house. Yellow and white. That's not a very good angle on that, is it? Let's move it over a little bit. Let's go this way, shall we? Oops, sorry. I'm trying to get a better look here. There. better angle. There we go. Not so much glare, and you can actually see what's happening. Which just makes it a little more interesting, doesn't it? Thank you, Taha. Yeah, thumbs up. That helps the channel. I get myself one. Myself. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. What happened? Let's see. No upper thread. Let's go back about 10 stitches. Just a few. It's almost done too. Okay. What's next? We are on step 15. Placement line for the little bushes out front. And what color did we want? Exquisite 950, which is this green. This is the same green that we used before. Or no, it's not. That was this one. This is Exquisite 950. That's what we'll be using. It's a little darker green. Not much. Okay. Gonna do the outline. What material do we need? H. Let's find H. In the pile here. There we go. Pile got strewn everywhere. Let's see. This is H. That's what we need for our little bushes up front. Okay, oops. It's going to do them at the same time, so you just put them down. You can use spray or tape. I'm just going to risk my fingers. Make sure you don't move around too much. Okay. Garbage can. I'm going to have to take this out. Try not to hit the camera too much. Okay. I have to take this out of here. Well, maybe not. Doesn't have to be real close, but you know, you don't want to see any of it. I think that's good. Okay. I'm going to hit the camera for a second. Sorry about that. All right, leaving the same color in, we're doing our little satin stitches around our bushes. This is the first block that I've done this background quilting on. I've done 5 other blocks without it, but I'm going to start over. I'm going to do those 5 first blocks, and I'm going to do the background quilting on those, so I'm just going to start completely over. And the backing, I'm not going to put any more batting between them. So after I finish all my blocks and I sew them all together with the sashing and, all of the elements, I'm just going to put a backing on that. I'm just going to put it on top of a backing and whatever material. And then I'm just going to stitch around my blocks. So what you'll see on the back of the quilt is just going to be the blocks. I'm going to do in between the big sashing blocks that we make every month and the housing blocks. And that's how I'm going to attach the back to the front. You could put another, if you wanted it to be a little heavier, a little warmer, you could put another layer of batting in there. People put 2 layers of batting in their quilts all the time, just to make them a little fluffier and a little warmer. It depends on your preference as far as that goes, but I'm not. I'm just going to put a backing on there and go around the blocks, the bigger blocks, the housing blocks, and the bigger sashing blocks. I'm just going to stitch in the ditch around those and connect the backing that way. I think that's going to be a lot easier. And also, I was saying that because I have to do six to catch up This is the 6th house, so I need to do 5 to catch up. I'm just going to sew these together on the machine like we did in the beginning, and I'm going to do 5 of them that way, and then I'm going to do all of the background quilting on all 5 before I start putting the houses on them. I think that would go a little faster. You know, and while I'm quilting those, I'll cut out all the little tiny itty bitty pieces I gotta cut for each house. But I think it's gonna be worth it. I already have the beehive house cut out and ready to go. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna redo them all. Because I really like this background quilting. It's like, it's little houses with clouds and little swirls. It's really cute. And it already has, you know, the batting. Do you think you'll try it? Yeah. You're going to do it that way? I think it's adorable. I think it just really makes it, you know, background quilting. Oh, next. Next, we're doing the chimney and the little awning over the door. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do a placement line for that. So let's see, what color were I think we were doing like a really dark green on that one. And that was step 20. So that's exquisite 992. Let's see. Where's my dark green? Is it 992? Let's see, it was just a dark green. $9.92. Here we go. Found it. Yeah, $9.92. So I'm just going to put that in for the placement line and the tack down line and all of that. And this is for the little chimney and the little awning over the door. Okay. And what material do we need for that? We need MM, a double M. Just this one. I show the MM. Did you guys see that? Yeah. Okay. It's going to do them both at the same time. So we'll just make sure they stay put. Scissors at the ready. get in here. Oh, I have to move it just a little bit here. Okay. Looks good. Now we're doing a little set and stitch around those two. Sorry, my hands get in the way. No, I don't think Graydon was over there sneezing. Okay, let's see what's coming up next here. Looks like we're going to do our windows. Also saying that with the 5 blocks that are not quilted that I have, I think I'm going to make maybe pillows. I'll make some cute pillows out of them to go with my quilt. I think that would be cute. They won't go to waste. So for the windows, We're going to use this Isacord 0670. It's what I've been using on all the windows, on all the houses, for the satin stitches. So I'm just going to put that in now for the placement and the tack down. Okay, placement line. Then we need our fabric G. You can see that. Which is the fabric we use for all the windows. Kind of hard to see, but I can see it, kind of. Just want to make sure I'm covering. I am. Okay. It's going to do them both at the same time. All right, Linda. We just finished our first 2 blocks. Okay. Okay. Oh, we didn't take it out. There we go. We'll start our satin stitch. Oh, you bet. You bet. Yeah, it makes all the difference and you save so much fabric when you do it that way. Waste not, want not. Right? I am using a Kimberbell. I just went to Kimberbell's site and I went to background quilting and I just put in home or house maybe. But this one is actually called Home. And it is, let me see if I can show it to you on this one. It's little houses. Oops. It's little houses. I don't know if I can show you well enough here. Little houses with clouds. Can you see that? The little house, and then the cloud, and then little swirls in between. It's just so cute, and they're just little houses. And it's just a very simple open pattern. It's not too dense. And yeah, I thought it just was perfect for this, but it's called Home. And it's Kimberbell clear blue tiles. And I used the 6x12 tiles for this. Because the block ultimately is going to be 11 by 11. So I used it twice, so it's really kind of 12 by 12 on here. And it worked out really well. I suppose if you have the Avenir, you wouldn't need, you could do the block by block if they have a 12 by 12. I don't know if they have a 12 by 12 block, but the Avenir I think is 12 inches, right? 12 by 18, something ridiculous like that. You know, but us mere mortals, we don't have hoops that big. Maybe someday, right? But if you have the Avenir, I think you can do it all in one hooping. You wouldn't have to, you have to hoop it twice. And I used the 9.5 by 14 snap hoop. And I did 2 hoopings. It's all in the beginning if you missed it. You can do in the replay. What's next? Let's see what's coming up next. In the book, we're on page 41, step 20. It'll be step 24. And we're going to start the little leaves for the cherries. exquisite 950, the green we've been using for like the bushes. And our fabric V, our little piece. It's the same as the grass, but we had to cut a little piece for the leaves of the cherry. Leaves for the cherries. We'll get that ready. They are cute, Linda. They are so cute. And each one I make, I'm like, oh, I think this is my favorite. I think I've said that about all of them. Okay, let's put that green in. They are all just adorable. Okay, let's do the outline for the leaves of the little cherries. Oh yeah, it likes to do one at a time. I don't understand this. So I'm just going to put this down as close to that edge as I can get it without, you know, having a problem. Because it's just, and then I'm just going to, that's going to do the tack down for this side. It's going to do the exact same thing for the other side. And I don't know why it does this, because it wants the same material for both. I guess you could make two different color leaves. That would be cute, but that's not what it calls for. So we'll just do the same thing and we'll cut them out at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, I think I jumped the gun. It's going to do the tack down for that one. And then it'll do the satin stitch. I already cut it though. Okay. Satin stitch for the leaves. Yeah, Linda, so how I did this was, normally you would put SF101 on the backs of both of these pieces. It calls for it regardless of if you do background quilting or not. So I have SF101, shape flex, whatever you want to call it, on the back of both the background and the grass. And then I hooped in my dime magnetic hoop. I used the 9.5 by 14. I hooped just a piece of batting, whatever batting. I don't even know what kind it was. Just whatever I had in my stash. I just hooped plain batting, no stabilizer at that point. And I marked it with my clear blue tiles. I centered that in the hoop. Did my background quilting for one side because I did the 6 by 12, and then I rehooped another piece of batting, and I did the second side of the background quilting with clear blue tiles, and but with nothing but batting at that point, batting in SF 101 on the back. And then it was just business as usual. I just did some no-show mesh. I would suggest doing the lightest stabilizer you have, which for me would be the no-show mesh, and just did my house as normal, because it calls for the heavy tearaway, and on the other ones I used a heavy cutaway, but you don't need that if you have the batting. I have absolutely no puckering whatsoever on this. I've done it once before, and it came out perfect. So yeah, just some light no-show mesh and the 8 by 12. I'm doing the 8 by 12, you know, and it was just like you normally would do your house. Just that easy. And then you have that really cute background quilting. But it's on the replay if you want to go back. Did I pre-cut? I wish I could. I don't have a scan and cut. Someday I'm going to get on that boat. I would love to do it, and it would make this project go a lot faster and be a lot easier on your hands. There is a lot of cutting, a lot of little pieces. Okay, so now we're on step 29, and we're going to do the little stem and the little fence, and we are using ES 628. I'm going to refer to my paper just to make sure. That's step 29. Yep. ES 628. Exquisite 628. So the tan we used on the tree trunk, the branches. Yeah, I would love to have a scan and cut. That would be nice. If you have one, I highly suggest it. If you have one and you know how to do that. So that's something I would have to learn too. Of course, I mean, pretty much everybody's doing it on YouTube, right? I mean, they would have videos here to teach you how to do it. Okay, we're doing our little cherry stems and our fence. moving on to the cherries. Are that ready? Okay. So now we're switching the color to the Exquisite 1240. It's a nice deep red. And we need Y. Let's see. Here we go. We need these. Let's change our color. Okay, it's going to do a placement line. Actually, it wants T first. There's two different colors. And it wants T for this one. Sorry for the confusion. It wants T for the first little cherry. Oops. So normally, if I'm at home, I would change my bobbin to a red bobbin. Because I make pre-wounds in red, and I have some. So I think red, especially if it's doing like a satin stitch on my machine anyway, tends to show a little bit of bobbin. I'm not going to do that here. I don't have a red bobbin with me, but I normally would. At home. I'm going to do the placement line for our other cherry, which is our Y material. Okay, now we're going to do the satin stitches. It came unthreaded. Okay. There we go. next we're going to do the roof. And for that one, we're going to use this color, the Exquisite 763. We used that on the side of the house there. It's the darker of the yellows. Alright, let's do the placement line, and we need fabric N. Yeah, fabric N. This is where the scaling cut would come in handy, huh? All those squiggly lines. You don't have to get too close, like I said, it's pretty generous with their cover stitches. But, you know, I'll try and get in there. All right. Okay. This one's a little long stitch out, a little longer stitch out. Or go get a cup of coffee or tea, glass of wine, whatever your preference. Get it and walk around. We're on step 37 out of 41. We're almost done. show stuff.
And did you put it in,
Embroidery garden. I'm not using a machine. I just made those in a machine.
oh, you just made those up?
These two.
Yeah.
I had to do the double letters first. We were talking about the embroidery garden. Let me pull you back a little bit. The embroidery garden fabric markers that I made. You really need them for this project. If you're doing it, you understand. If you know, you know. But the design comes with this bag. The bag is included in the design. So I thought that was so cute, and they're very, very handy. Very handy. And she was thinking that she could kit this and we could do a class. What do you all think? What software did you use to create the templates for the blocks? You mean the printout that I used to figure out? Let me move you over here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I do a printout. Here's one of them. Is that what you mean? Yes, the printout. Okay. So the printout is from Brilliant software, which is there's a free version. I do have the one step up that's like 130 something, 139, maybe 140. But I don't think you need that to print these out. So what I do is I open up in Brilliance, I drop the house in Brilliance software, just drag it over, drop it in there, and then up on top of my computer will be a print button, and I just press that and it prints this out. It's to scale. It's exactly what the Can you hear me better? Oh, I don't want to. Yeah, I can move that. Can you hear me better if I talk into this microphone? Is this better? So it's in Brilliance, and there's a free version, and I just drop the design into Brilliance, and then they'll be at the top of the toolbar there in Brilliance. There will be a print button, and it just prints this out to scale. And it's actually really good for any design for like placement, because it gives you the target. If you want to get something right in the middle of the hoop, which is nice, it gives you a little target here, gives you a line here and here and here and here to line it up in your hoop. You know, so any design, this would be useful. But I use it to just measure like for the little bush here. I look at it and I'm like, oh, 2 by 2 should be fine. Little 2 by 2 square, actually 2 by 1.5 would be fine. So then I just, I jot that down and I just cut it out to that spec. It's like they want, I don't know, for these cherries, I think they want like a 5 by 5, but they're just using pre-cut measures. So for each cherry, they wanted a 5 by 5 charm Why wouldn't they use like there's one below the charm, what is that called? Where it's just a 2.5 by 2.5 square. I mean, why can't they use that? But anyway, I digress. So I just measure that and I'm like, oh, little 1 by 1 or 1.5 by 1.5. You just want to make sure you don't, it's not too small. And so those are the measurements I come up with in my spreadsheets, which, I make one up every month. Where is it? Oh, here. So I make one up every month with all the measurements for each step. So I go by the steps that are in the book. Whenever a step calls for material, like step 39 calls for Y material, so I would have a step 39 here, fabric Y, and I cut it 3 by 2. So I make these up every month. But if you're working ahead, you want to do it yourself, just get the Brilliance, just download it. It's really good software. It's very easy to use. And it's very helpful, and there's so much waste involved if you follow what they want in the book. It's just silly, really, just very silly. But yeah, that's how I get the measurements. Like for the tree, I don't know what I did, but it's probably like 4 by 3 or something for the tree, So I just measured it, and you take into account this very thick satin stitch. You can take a 1/4 of an inch off of whatever you measure, and it makes it simple. So our roof is done, and now we're doing our door. So we're going to go back to this red that we used on the cherries, the ES1240, and fabric Y. It is. It's nice to just have a cut list that, where you can just go down the line and not have to think about it. All right, we're going to do our placement line for the door material. Oh, I didn't move you back here. Let me move you back to the machine. Silly me. Okay. You cover that up. Wouldn't it be wonderful if digitizers, like, at the end, when they know you're going to have to cut around something, why wouldn't they just bring the carriage out here? Seems to always go the farthest away from me as it can. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, we're going to do the satin stitch around the door. quick class on how to make these markers. And the little bag. I'll show them to you over here. It's just the markers are just felt and thread. And like I said, the design comes with this bag. With the bag and the markers. There is a smaller version which I'm going to make. They seem kind of big, but I kind of like the size of using a handle. But I'm going to make the smaller ones too, so we can compare. Tina says she'll fit it. Some felt and a little bit of fabric, batting here, some vinyl. Put a little hanger things on here. That wouldn't be hard. So we can hang it up in our room somewhere, you know. What do you think? Down to the wire here. Yeah, we're just going to do the little stoop in front of the door. That's our final step. And for that, just using a charcoal kind of color. This is a Floriani 4613. And it's going to do a little stoop in front of the door and a little door handle. Okay. Let's see how this machine does. My machine did not like this color at all. I think it broke about 20-25 times. It's a kind of a crazy stitch. I can't see very well, huh? Let me move you in. Good job. It got a little weird right there, but I can live with that. Okay, little doorknob. And we're done, just like that. That wasn't so bad. All right, let's take it over and do our cutting. Look at that. How cute is that? Okay. Our roller. Let's take it on the hoop. Oops. Okay. There's a basting line that goes around it. You'll take that out. These little marks here, there's just a little bit over here and there. We'll just get that wet and those will go away. Okay, so here's what I did. They want you to cut 2 3/4 up on this ruler. They want the 2 3/4 line on this line here. Okay. On the seam between the background and the grass. And then I want you to center it. Hopefully I'm not too much in the way here. And I just kind of eyeball it. So I'm about 2 inches here. Let's see, I'm going to move over a little bit there. So I got 2 inches and 2 inches. I think that's about right. And then I want to make sure I'm lined up with that line, because I'm assuming in the end these are going to have to line up somehow. Okay, it's helpful to have one of these spinning mats.
All right. There was pizza though.
Okay, let's see if I got that. This corner here is. There we go. So there's our quilted block, and we'll just iron all this out. It'll be nice and flat, just like this one. Look at that. Isn't it cute? Okay, So I'm not going to stitch out a sashing today, but I'm going to show you how I hoop it, because I wanted my sashing, I've got some here, I wanted my sashing to have the same thickness. I wanted it to have the batting and everything. So when I put this together, it's all the same, you know, it has the same thickness. So I did something a little different with the sashing. The sashing is just these materials and thread. It's all thread. All of this is thread. There's no applique in it whatsoever. So what I did was I hooped my 6x10 with some no-show mesh. Okay. So I hooked my 6x10 with some no-show mesh, just regular like we used on the other one, light, because you're gonna have batting in here. Okay. Now, the batting that came off of our, was just scraps, right? Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna hoop this. You're gonna float this and your material. Okay. So I'm going to hoop that, and then it's going to do a placement line, and I'm going to, where's all my, I just had it. Where's all my, oh, here it is, okay. So it's going to have a placement line. It's just going to do a straight line. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to put this down, and it's going to sew it down, and I'm going to do that, and then it's going to do the line around here, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here. It's going to do that, I'm going to flip it over, and then it's going to work this, and I'm going to flip it over, okay? So all of that is going to be in this hoop with the batting underneath it. And then I'm just going to do all of the stitching around just like I would normal. But the only difference is I'm not using the heavy stabilizer, I'm using the light stabilizer, and I'm just throwing some batting behind it. And I'm just using scraps because this ends up being 4 1/4 wide. So it's going to be, you know, pretty narrow. So that's how I did that. Are there any questions there? I mean, that's pretty simple, right? What do we think? Do we have any questions? So that's how I did the sashing. And that's how I'm going to do the sashing from this time forward with all of my blocks. You can see they're a little puffy. You could see the batting, but there's no puckering. No puckering around they turned out just fine. And they've got the light mesh and they have the batting. And the material does have SF101 on it. So I did put that on there. Okay. What do we think? No questions? Well, okay. Well, I'm going to get going. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me. It was fun. I will see you at the end of next month. I think July is going to be kind of quiet. The shop is, you know, they're going to be gone. The shop's closed and all of that. So, but I'll be here, I think on the 31st. It's the 31st. I'll be doing another house. And, you know, if you want me to do a sashing block, even if it's just, you know, not all the stitching, I know that can be kind of boring to watch. But if you just want me to do where I just put everything down and getting ready for all of the stitching, I can do that. You know, I'm not quilting these. I'm not doing background quilting on these, but I am putting the batting on. So no background quilting, just the batting. Okay. All right, guys. Well, you have a wonderful 4th of July. Have a safe 4th of July. And we'll see you next time.